Have you ever heard the story of Zeus's successor? Like so many of the bastard sons of the great Olympian god, he was ruthlessly persecuted by Hera and suffered a tragic fate. Today, you will learn the story of Zagreus and his remarkable tale filled with twists and turns. Known for his numerous love affairs, Zeus turned his lust on the goddess Persephone, daughter of his sister Demeter, the goddess of the harvest and fertility. Having been kidnapped by the underworld ruler Hades, Persephone became his queen. But that would not deter Zeus. To outsmart Hades, he changed into a serpent and mated with Persephone. Zagreus was conceived from this sneaky divine bond. He was born with a great destiny, bound for mighty deeds from the moment he took his first breath. Having spotted Zagreus as a worthy heir, Zeus intended to bring him to Olympus and make him his successor. After his birth, Zagreus was entrusted to the care of the Curetes and the nymphs, divine figureheads who had a key role in protecting and educating the young gods. The Curetes were mythological warriors who danced and pounded their weapons to produce loud noises, protecting the child from Hera's jealous eyes, which harbored a deep resentment toward Zeus's illegitimate children. This sound protection from the Curetes prevented the baby's cries from reaching Hera on Olympus, making it essential to keep Zagreus safe from any threats. For their part, the nymphs played a crucial role in Zagreus's upbringing. They were known for their abilities in different arts and natural knowledge. Zagreus was raised in an educational environment where he learned about nature, music, and dance, as well as being instructed in life and death mysteries. The goddess Athena was a particularly important figure in his upbringing. She was particularly interested in Zagreus and often visited the place where he was being raised. Athena, being the goddess of wisdom and strategic warfare, imparted to Zagreus a profound understanding of strategy, leadership, and the divine mysteries. Although surrounded by love and protection, Zagreus was not completely immune to the machinations of Olympus. His childhood was a time of intense training and protection. He grew up not just as a young god, but as an entity meant for great deeds and challenges. Once Zagreus had reached maturity, Zeus, acknowledging his son's strength and potential, intended to prepare him to take the throne and rule over gods and mortals. This revealed Zeus's trust in his abilities, but it also marked a meaningful change in the Olympian balance of power. But Zeus's decision triggered the envy and fury of Hera, his wife and queen of the gods, known for her jealousy and vindictiveness against Zeus's lovers and illegitimate children. The goddess could not accept the idea that a son of Zeus with another woman, particularly Persephone, could be the next ruler. Hera considered this a threat to her own power and that of her legitimate children. She was also deeply concerned about the potential alliances that Zagreus could form, considering that he had been born from the relationship between Zeus and Persephone, connecting heaven and the underworld. Intent on having his plan fulfilled, Zeus entrusted Zagreus with the thunderbolt, the symbol of his ultimate power, stating his clear desire to make him the next ruler. This ceremonial act designated Zagreus as the chosen one, an honor that came with lofty expectations and responsibilities. Deciding to prevent Zagreus from taking the throne, Hera plotted to destroy the threat he posed. The goddess urged the Titans, ancient deities known for their strength and malice, to attack Zagreus. By offering them power and benefits, Hera managed to persuade them to implement her evil plan. While Zeus dreamt of a bright future for his son, Hera engineered his annihilation. Disguised in white plaster, so as not to be recognized, the Titans used glowing objects to lure Zagreus. The curious and innocent young god approached them, unaware of the impending danger. When they finally succeeded in drawing him away from his guardians, the Titans savagely attacked him. They viciously dismembered Zagreus, slicing his body to pieces while he was still alive. This dismembering was more than mere physical violence. It had a deep symbolic meaning. In Greek mythology, dismemberment stood for the destruction and fragmentation of divine unity, a profanity-laced act against the order established by the Olympian gods. Following the dismemberment, the Titans devoured Zagreus's fragments, assimilating his divine power into themselves. With this ritualistic cannibalism, the Titans attempted to encroach on Zeus's power by destroying his chosen successor. Yet this defilement did not go undetected. The goddess Athena saved Zagreus' heart before the Titans could devour it. She took it to Zeus, who, profoundly shocked and angered by the Titans' betrayal, exacted his almighty revenge. He destroyed them with his thunderbolts, reducing them to cinders. Zagreus' heart was used by Zeus to usher in the young god's rebirth. With this, Zagreus would rise again as Dionysus, bearing with him the promise of renewal and the continuity of divine life. Zagreus was therefore reborn under a new identity. Dionysus inherited Zagreus' divine nature and his magnificent destiny, but now he also bore traits of life and death, joy and madness, wine and feasts. As Dionysus, he became the god of wine, fertility, ecstasy, and theater, carrying with him the promise of renewal and transformation. Zagreus Dionysus came to be worshipped all over ancient Greece, with a particularly strong cult among the Orphic, a religious group that revered death and rebirth as part of an eternal cycle. The Zagreus Dionysus myth was central to the Orphic religion, which stressed spiritual purification and the soul's immortality. Dionysus' followers held celebrations in his honor, such as the Dionysian festivals, with processions, dances, music, and theater. These celebrations expressed Dionysus' dual nature, joy and ecstasy, but also madness and chaos. Orphic customs included initiation rituals that symbolized death and rebirth, echoing Zagreus Dionysus' own experience. Zagreus Dionysus' legacy also spread to Greek philosophy and literature. This myth influenced philosophers such as Plato and poets like Euripides, who further explored the topics of transformation, rebirth, and the redeeming power of suffering. This narrative may have given you unexpectedly different information from what you usually find in other myths. This is because the Orphic myths are significantly different from the Greek ones told by Hesiod and other classical sources. Whereas Hesiod and like-minded poets focus on narratives that place emphasis on the hierarchical nature of the gods and divine genealogies, Orphic myths have a more mystical and esoteric approach, focusing on spiritual purification and the immortality of the soul. Orphic traditions feature death and rebirth themes, typified by the figure of Zagreus Dionysus, and encourage initiation rituals and a cyclical view of life, death, and rebirth. By contrast, Hesiod's works, such as the Theogony, depict a more linear and hierarchical cosmos, where order is established through conflicts between generations of gods. While Hesiod's mythology is focused on the origins and order of the physical universe, the Orphic myths explore the spiritual and transcendental aspects of existence. For this reason, Zagreus Dionysus has a significant role within Orphism, and his myth is still so relevant today.